Hello, sports fans. Hi, I'm Billy Lindsay, and today we are talking hockey. We have a great show for you here today, as we have some former NHL players here to discuss some of the hottest topics in the National Hockey League today. On my left here, we have Chris Kostopoulos, Craig Norwich, and Dave Tomlinson. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the show. We're glad to have you here.
Thanks, Bill.
We just wrapped up. We just crowned a new Stanley Cup champion in the NHL playoffs. The Anaheim Mighty Ducks beat the Ottawa Senators in 5 games. What was your take on the overall playoffs this year, and what did you guys think of everything in general and how it all played out?
I think the finals was a bit of a letdown for me personally. 5 games. It seemed like Ottawa didn't really put up a good fight. But the previous series, some of the previous series were really, really good, I thought.
Yeah, the hockey seemed to be pretty good overall in general. Craig, did you think the hockey is getting better and is getting to a place that's...
I thought it was a fantastic Stanley Cup. I mean, I watched quite a few of the series, and the close games, the overtimes, the intensity, and I agree with Chris. It just seemed like some of the top players for Ottawa just didn't compete. It was like they just kind of gave up. They weren't going to win the battle, so they said, well, let's let somebody else try to win it.
Yeah, Spezza and Heatley really had a tough time. Anaheim seemed to shut them down. Dave, there's poor ratings again in the NHL this year for the playoffs, and they seem to struggle every year in the U.S. market and the NBC market. And is there anything that you think the NHL can do to improve the ratings on TV?
I think one of the first mistakes they made was leaving ESPN and going to OLN, which is a channel that not a lot of people in the States can access on their TV. So if you can't watch the games in your comfort of your own living room, I don't think too many people are going to go out of their way to go watch hockey if they're not true hockey fans. And I don't think that the ratings being low are a big surprise in the States. Most of the fans come from Canada and will do anything to watch the hockey, but again, down in the States, if it's not right there in front of them, easy to find on an easy channel, I don't think you're going to get many viewers.
We had Don Cherry on NBC there one afternoon, and he was in one of the intermission of the game saying, we need fighting back in the game. We need it. The U.S. market wants it. He was telling Gary Bettman that we need the fighting to promote it. This is what the people want to see. This is the life and the life of hockey. And what is your take on that, Chris? Do you think that hockey needs that back in it?
Well, I don't think it needs to go back to like the Broad Street Bully days where there's brawls all the time, but I do think there's a time and a place for it. I mean, when I played, it changed the momentum of games sometimes. You needed that little boost. You're down 2-0, you need to shake things up, so somebody dropped the gloves and went at it.
So hockey's good. Hockey's good for fighting. Hockey's good. That's what the fans want to see.
It has its time.
What do you feel,
place.
Craig?
Well, I think I was in 5 fights professionally in my career, and I did win one. And so I certainly am not an expert analyst on this subject, but I think it's good for hockey because it's analogous to a pressure cooker when maybe you're cooking some pasta and you need to release the steam to cook the pasta correctly, and then everything works out well. In hockey, I think you need, when things get going a little bit too hectic and 2 guys get in a fight, I think it changes the game and settles it down a little bit. So I think intrinsically, fighting is good for the game.
Yeah, I know a lot of fans coming up to me say they love the fights, they love to see it. I think it's something that maybe that is a demand out there. Do you feel that way, Dave?
Well, I think that when you watch a game, the 2 times that people stand and cheer is when there's a goal scored or when there's a fight. And what I'd like to see when people say fighting should be taken out of the game, I'd like to see perhaps a survey on which fans aren't actually going to the game because there could be fighting. It could be a lot fewer than we really think, and I don't think that the game needs to be changed so much for the people who won't come because of that. We've grown up on the game of hockey and grown up with fighting in the game, and I think it's something that belongs. It's a part of the fabric of the game.
And we've got, in the hockey, the NHL, you got some great superstars coming up. You got Sidney Crosby, you got Alex Ovechkin, you got some guys that can maybe sell the game. These guys are great players. The game seems to be evolving. Is Sidney Crosby, is he that next one? Is he going to be the next Gretzky? Does he have that marketability to promote the NHL, maybe take it to that next level like Gretzky did?
I think so. I think he's a pretty good hockey player. I mean, at 19 years old or 20, whatever he was this year, scoring 100-plus points. I mean, the youngest to ever do that. That's pretty amazing.
He's got a lot of talent. Do you think Gretzky had some of the greatest records? Does he have the ability to even come close to touching any of those records, Craig?
Boy, I don't know. Those are some lofty records to achieve. However, you never know, but I think those records will be around for a little while.
Yeah, it just seems that the game has maybe gone a little bit too defensive to kind of ever kind of create those things. But he seems to be a polished guy, a marketable guy. It seems that they got some guys to work around the NHL. Do you think that the NHL is in a good position that way, Dave?
I think Sidney Crosby is the guy that's going to be the marquee player in the league, and he's going to pull along the younger players as well, like Malkin or Ovechkin. And I think the NHL needs to do a better job of marketing those players to the fans because, again, when the game grows, it's going to grow on the back of those young guys. And Crosby's proven that he can be an excellent player in the league, and I think he's a good ambassador away from the rink as well. So I think the game kind of depends on a player like him and how well he does.
Well, thanks for joining us today. It was a great pleasure having you guys on the show, and hopefully we can have you back again. Thanks for joining me today, and I'm Bill Lindsay, and we'll see you next time on the Daily Sports Time.